Hey guys, this is Amit and you are watching TechDad. In this video, we are going to compare between Poco X3 Pro versus Realme 8 Pro. And we will discuss which one is better in camera, performance, display, body of the devices, features, communication chips and about the prices. And in the end of the video, I will tell you which one is better according to me. So watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let the comparison start with the camera of the devices. Talking about the rear camera of the devices, X3 Pro have quad camera setup, 48 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. And 8 Pro also comes with quad camera setup, 108 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. So the winner here is 8 Pro because it have better camera sensor which can take great photos. And about the front camera of the devices, X3 Pro have 20 megapixel of wide camera and 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera. And about the front camera of the devices, X3 Pro have 20 megapixel of wide camera whereas 8 Pro have 16 megapixel of wide camera. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have 20 megapixel of wide camera which can take great photos. Let's talk about the camera features of the devices. X3 Pro have dual LED flash HDR and panorama whereas 8 Pro have LED flash HDR and panorama. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have dual LED flash. And about the video recording options in the devices, X3 Pro can shoot 4K video max at 30 fps, Full HD video max at 240 fps with gyro electronic image stabilization. And 8 Pro can shoot 4K video max at 30 fps, Full HD video max at 480 fps with gyro electronic image stabilization. So the winner here is 8 Pro because it have better camera sensors. Moving to the performance of the devices, let's start with the operating system of the devices. X3 Pro have Android 11 support. On the other side, 8 Pro also have Android 11 support. So it's a tie here. And about the user interface of the devices, X3 Pro have MIUI specially designed for Poco and 8 Pro comes with Realme UI. So I will call it a tie here because both of the devices comes with a different UI. So it's up to you which UI you like it or not, it's up to you. Let's talk about the processor of the devices. X3 Pro is powered by Snapdragon 860 processor based on 7nm processor, whereas 8 Pro is powered by Snapdragon 720G based on 8nm processor. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have more faster processing speed. And about the GPU of the devices, X3 Pro is packed with Adreno 640 whereas the 8 Pro is packed with Adreno 618. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it can give you more FPS in games. Let's talk about the clock speed of the devices. X3 Pro can clock at 2.96 GHz based on octa-core Creo chipset, whereas 8 Pro can clock at 2.3 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have faster clock speed. And about the RAM variants in the devices, X3 Pro have 6 and 8 GB of RAM options, whereas 8 Pro have 6 and 8 GB of RAM variant. So the winner here is 8 Pro because it have high speed RAM. Let's talk about the internal storage of the devices. X3 Pro comes with two storage options, 128 and 256 GB of storage, whereas 8 Pro have only 128 GB of storage option. So clearly the winner here is X3 Pro because it have faster read and write speed. And about the external storage of the devices, X3 Pro have external card slot but it uses shared SIM slot, but 8 Pro have dedicated card slot option. So the winner here is 8 Pro. Moving to the display features of the devices, let's start with the display size of the devices. X3 Pro have 6.67 inches of display whereas 8 Pro have 6.4 inches of display. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have bigger display size. And about the screen to body ratio, X3 Pro have approximately 84.6% whereas 8 Pro have 83.3%. So it's a tie here because both of the devices have approximately same ratio. Let's talk about the screen resolution of the devices. X3 Pro comes with Full HD Plus display. In the other side, 8 Pro also have Full HD Plus display. So it's a tie here. And about the display type of the devices, X3 Pro have IPS LCD display having 120Hz of refresh rate with HDR10 support, whereas 8 Pro have Super AMOLED display. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have 120Hz of refresh rate, which can increase your viewing experience of watching content as well as gaming. Moving to the body features of the devices, let's start with the thickness of the devices. X3 Pro have 9.4 mm of thickness whereas 8 Pro have 8.1 mm of thickness. So the clear winner here is 8 Pro because of slimmer body design it have. Talking about the weight of the devices, X3 Pro comes with 215 grams of weight whereas 8 Pro have 176 grams of weight. So the winner here is 8 Pro because it have lower body weight. And about the protective glass of the devices, X3 Pro have Gorilla Glass 6 whereas 8 Pro also have Gorilla Glass 3. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have newer generation of glass which is more durable than its older generation. Let's talk about the build quality of the devices. X3 Pro have glass back with plastic frame, whereas 8 Pro have plastic back with plastic frame. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it have solid build quality. And about the SIM options on the devices, both of the devices have dual nano SIM support, so it's a tie here. Moving to some of the most important features of the devices, let's start with the fingerprint scanner of the devices. X3 Pro have side mounted fingerprint scanner, in the other side 8 Pro have under display fingerprint scanner. So according to me, the winner here is X3 Pro because it have faster scanner. And about the sensors in the devices, X3 Pro have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass, whereas 8 Pro also have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass. So I will call it a tie. Let's talk about the battery capacity of the devices. X3 Pro have 5160 mAh of battery, whereas 8 Pro have 4500 mAh of battery. So clearly the winner here is X3 Pro because it have bigger battery capacity. Let's talk about the charging speed of the devices. X3 Pro have 33 watts of fast charging, whereas 8 Pro have 50 watts of fast charging. So the winner here is 8 Pro because it can charge up your device faster. Let's talk about the loudspeaker of the devices. X3 Pro comes with stereo speakers, whereas 8 Pro have normal speakers. So the winner here is X3 Pro because it can produce immersive sound. And about the headphone jack of the devices, X3 Pro have 3.5mm of headphone jack, whereas 8.6 Pro also have. So I will call it a tie. Moving to the communication chips in the devices. Starting with the WLAN of the devices, both of the devices comes with Wi-Fi AC, dual band Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi direct and hotspot. So it's a tie here. And about the Bluetooth version of the devices, X3 Pro have 5th generation of Bluetooth, whereas 8 Pro have 5th generation of Bluetooth 2. So I will call it a tie because both of the devices comes with the same generation of Bluetooth. Let's talk about the positioning chips in the devices. X3 Pro have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS, whereas 8 Pro have only AGPS, GLONASS and BDS. So clearly the winner here is X3 Pro because it have Galileo sensor. And about the USB connectivity of the devices, X3 Pro have 2nd gen of Type-C connector with OTG support, whereas 8 Pro also comes with 2nd gen of Type-C connector with OTG support. So I will call it a tie. Moving to the prices of the devices. In the international market, starting range of X3 Pro is around $220, whereas 8 Pro is available from $260. In the Indian market, X3 Pro is having starting range from 17,500 rupees, whereas 8 Pro is available from 19,000 rupees. So the conclusion of the video is, in the camera the winner is 8 Pro, in the performance the winner is X3 Pro, in the display the winner is X3 Pro, in the body segment the winner is X3 Pro, in the features of the devices the winner is X3 Pro, in the communication chips it's a tie, and about the prices the winner is X3 Pro. So the decision is totally yours. Which device you like the most so far, and let me know in the comment below what do you think, which device is better for you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like our content, please like our video, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment what's your thought in the comment below. If you're watching this video on Facebook, please like our page TechDad. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram ID on the screen. This is Amit and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.